guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yashita and I make content regarding books. So if you're interested in reading or if you want to get into reading, then this might be the channel for you to subscribe. Alright, let's talk about today's video because it is very exciting. I'm going to talk about my favorite books from this year so far. I haven't read a lot of books that I've loved, so these are some precious ones which I'm going to share with you. So let's get started with number one, which is Make Believe Match by Melanie Harlow. Now this is fourth book in the Cherry Tree Harbor series. Oh my god, this is the third book in the series. There are going to be four books. Fourth one I'm reading right now. I got so confused. I think it is going to be just these four books because it is about a family in which there are these four brothers and it is their love story. This book particularly is about Devlin and Lexi. Now Devlin works for a company which basically wants to sell the place that is owned by Lexi's grandmother, and Lexi is to inherit it, but the place is not working fine. It is a resort basically and it is going into shambles. So her grandmother also wants to sell this place. Devlin is making her sell this place, but Lexi is eager to save it. So this is the whole scenario. Also there is this clause that Lexi has to get married in order to inherit, and we are excited to see what happens and how it comes about. So this book was really good. So particularly I think the use of my wife in this book was a little bit more than necessary, but there was nothing major that I didn't like, and this is why I rated this book a 5 stars. I love this series in general. So if you are interested in picking up this book, pick up the first book first because you're going to enjoy it going through, gradually through each brother and their story. I loved the first book. Like, it is so close to my heart. Whenever I think about Melanie Harlow, I think like the first book I read by her was the one that I cherish the most. The second book on my list is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. Now I didn't think I would like this book as much as I did. It is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series and I can't tell you guys much without spoiling anything, so just know that I loved this book. I loved even the build up to the story, because with Sarah J Maas you kind of get into it very slowly, so you are not into it like 100% from the very beginning, but this story just gripped me, hooked me from the very starting, which I absolutely love about books. So this was something that I liked, and also the tension between the characters, which I can't name, was so amazing. I love this book and it is one of my favorite books of this year. I rated it a 4 stars. Let's talk about the third book on this list, which is The Royal Wedding by M.V. Kasi. Now this book is about, it's a very short read. It's about our female main character Janvi, who is to get married in 4 weeks by a match which is set by her grandfather, who wants to maintain the royal bloodline, but she doesn't want to marry a person she doesn't know. So before her wedding, like very morosely, she goes to this flood relief camp to volunteer and she finds someone, and the rest is yours to figure out. So about this book, I loved it. The story was so good. It was a little bit cheesy, but I loved it. The ending was superb, and I feel like the epilogue was a bit rushed, which basically happens when you are reading a short read. But I personally don't think I need epilogues because they are always just so rushed and there's nothing of value there. So I don't know why authors write epilogues. Anyways, I loved this book. I rated it a 5 stars, and yeah, let's move on to our book number 4, which is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. It is the first book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series and I love this book. This video is basically about all my favorite reads so far, so I'm gonna say this about every book, that I absolutely loved it. If or not they were 5 stars, 4 is a good number too, so I think 4 or 5 stars is basically something that I enjoyed, so you have to read them. So basically this book is about these two characters, Emmy and Luke. Luke is basically Emmy's oldest brother's best friend and he's kind of grown up together with these siblings, but Emmy doesn't live there anymore. So basically she gets into an accident and returns home. Nobody knows why she has returned or anything, and when Luke sees her for the first time after so long, he can't take his eyes off of her. And like, the description of how he feels for her in this book was just so amazing. This was like, Luke was my perfect book boyfriend, one of them, because Aaron Blackford, I can't find your match anywhere. But anyways, so this is the basic theme. It is a cowboy romance, which I absolutely love. If you don't know, the country vibes in this book were immaculate. I rated this book a 4.5 stars. A little thing that bothered me in this book was that the name of the male character was mentioned like his full name every time, so it was icky. And there was one thing as well, I just want to talk about it because it really made me not like our female main character, because she was interested at first, and after everything happened between them, she was like, I'm so confused what I want. I get it, but I don't. Like, there is this thing that if you are attracted to someone, if you like them, after you've gotten closer to them, you want to, build that thing rather than getting confused. So she took a while, which I think you can, but why do you have to, was something that I didn't understand. Those were the only things that bothered me a little bit, but Luke was amazing to Emmy, and I absolutely ate this book up. Let's talk about our fifth and final book for this video, which is Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Dooley. It is the first book in Artifacts of Oranos series. In this book, there is a contest in which these 10 women are fighting each other to get a chance to marry the Sun King, and somehow our female main character Lore gets a chance to her freedom by participating in this contest. But things aren't exactly as they seem. There are so many things that are happening that are revealed, and you are on edge a lot of the times, and I absolutely loved it. I love the writing style in this book, and the concept of the contest, absolutely mind-blowing. Like, the writer had something in mind that she wanted to write. Sometimes the ideas are very vague and you kind of get confused, which I got confused in Fourth Wing. But in this book, like, I enjoyed going through those contests and everything, so I loved reading this book. I rated this book a 4 stars. I also have a reading vlog on this book which has all my thoughts and reactions over it, so if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description box. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you got some recommendations that you were looking for. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, goodbye.